The Dragonling no one wanted. The moon was dead. No trees, no water, no sound. Only broken stone and cold dust floated under a dark sky full of stars. This moon once belonged to dragons. Long ago, their nests filled the cliffs and their fire warmed the land. But now, the dragons were gone. Only one remained. A small dragonling lay inside a cracked cave near the edge of a deep crater. His body was thin. His wings were folded tight around him, trying to keep what little warmth he had left. His scales were not bright like the others. They were pale, almost silver, with strange blue lines that softly glowed in the dark. He was very young, too young to survive alone. His yellow eyes opened slowly. They were weak, tired, and full of fear. He lifted his head and made a small sound, hoping someone would hear him. No one came. The Dragonling did not understand why he was alone. He only remembered warmth once. Large shapes, strong wings around him, a deep voice that made the ground shake. Then nothing. The elders had looked at him and turned away. They spoke words he did not understand, but he felt their meaning. Too weak, too different, not worth saving. So they left him. The Dragonling crawled closer to the cave wall. The cold hurt his skin. His fire sack was empty. He tried to breathe fire, just a little, like he had seen others do. Nothing happened. He cried. It was a soft, broken sound, lost in the empty moon. His cry echoed once, then faded. Time passed. He did not know how long. On this dead moon, time meant nothing. Hunger burned inside him. His eyes closed again and again. High above, stars moved slowly. Ships passed through space near the moon. Big ships. Fast ships. They scanned for minerals, for energy, for profit. None of them scanned for life. None of them stopped. The Dragonling lifted his head when he heard a distant sound. A low hum, different from the wind, different from the moon's silence. A ship. He crawled forward and looked up at the sky. A small light moved between the stars. For a moment, hope filled his chest. He cried again. The ship passed by. The light disappeared. The Dragonling's body shook. His claws scratched weakly at the stone. His strength was leaving him. He curled into himself, trying to disappear. Maybe this was how it ended. Far away, inside a human exploration ship, warning lights blinked softly. Unknown signal detected. The ship's computer said. Captain Mara Hale sat in the command chair. Her hair was tied back. Lines of tiredness showed on her face. She had been in space for many years. Source? She asked. Very weak life signal, the computer replied. Non-human. The crew exchanged looks. Probably a predator, one officer said. Or a trap, another added. This area was abandoned for a reason. Mara stared at the screen. The signal was faint, almost gone. She felt something tighten in her chest. Put on the main display, she said. A small shape appeared on the screen. Curled, shaking, silent. Mara stood up. That's a child, she said quietly. It's a dragon, the security officer replied. Dragons killed thousands during the old wars. Mara did not answer. Her eyes stayed on the image. Years ago, she had lost her own child during a deep space accident. A system failure. One moment of silence. One moment too long. She never forgot that silence. Prepare a landing, she said. The bridge went quiet. Captain, the officer warned, command orders. I'll take responsibility, Mara said firmly. If that thing dies, it won't be because we looked away. The ship turned. Engines slowed. On the moon below, dust rose as the human ship landed near the broken cave. The Dragonling felt the ground vibrate. His eyes snapped open. Bright light filled the cave entrance. Wind rushed inside. Fear returned, sharp and strong. He tried to stand. He fell. Heavy footsteps approached. A shadow covered him. Tall. Strange. Not dragon. The Dragonling hissed weakly. His claws trembled. Then a voice spoke. Soft. Slow. Warm. It's okay, the human said. The Dragonling looked up. For the first time since being abandoned, someone had come back. And he did not know if this was salvation or the end. The human who did not turn away. The Dragonling expected pain. Every creature he had seen before brought fear. Loud voices. Sharp eyes. Cold judgment. He pulled his wings tighter around his body and waited for the end. But the pain did not come. Instead, the human stopped a few steps away. She did not rush. She did not raise a weapon. She slowly removed her helmet and placed it on the ground. The Dragonling saw her face clearly now. Pale skin, soft eyes, lines of sadness, not anger. The cold air touched her skin, but she did not care. "My name is Mara," she said quietly, as if the words mattered. "I won't hurt you." The Dragonling did not understand the words, but he understood the tone. Something inside him shifted. Behind her, human soldiers formed a half circle. Their weapons were ready, glowing with power. One wrong move, and the cave would become a grave. "Captain," a soldier whispered through the comms, "it's unstable. Dragons don't act alone. This could be bait." Mara raised her hand without looking back. "Hold," she said. The Dragonling lifted his head. His eyes glowed faintly as he looked at the humans. His chest hurt. His body shook. Hunger and fear mixed together until he could not tell them apart. He opened his mouth and tried to roar. Only a weak, broken sound came out. Some of the soldiers relaxed. Others looked shocked. "That thing is dying," one of them said. Mara took one careful step forward. The Dragonling flinched and tried to crawl back, but his strength failed him. He slipped on the stone and fell onto his side. Mara froze. She slowly knelt down, making herself smaller, less threatening. "I see you," she said softly. "You don't have to fight." The Dragonling's breathing slowed. His eyes stayed locked on her hands. They were empty. No claws. No fire. No threat. Mara reached into her pack and pulled out a thermal blanket. She pushed it gently across the ground, stopping far from him. The Dragonling stared at it. Warmth leaked into the cold cave. He hesitated. Then, shaking, he dragged himself forward and touched the blanket with one claw. Warm. Real warmth. His wings relaxed without him meaning to. Behind them, alarms suddenly screamed. "Captain!" the pilot shouted. "Energy spikes across the moon. Deep readings, something massive is waking up." The ground shook. Small stones fell from the cave ceiling. The Dragonling cried out, not in fear this time, but in pain. Blue light flared across the glowing lines on his scales. The air felt heavy, thick, like the moon itself was holding its breath. Mara felt it. Everyone felt it. "This isn't normal dragon energy," the science officer said. "It's older." The Dragonling's eyes rolled back. His body lifted slightly off the ground. "Get him out of there," someone yelled. But Mara stayed. She ignored the shaking ground and moved forward fast. She wrapped the blanket around the Dragonling and pulled him into her arms. The moment she touched him, the shaking stopped. The alarms went silent. The blue light faded. The Dragonling collapsed against her chest, breathing weakly. Everyone stared. "What just happened?" a soldier whispered. Mara held the Dragonling close. His heartbeat was fast but steady. He was warm now, alive. "He calmed down," she said. "That's what happened." They rushed back to the ship as cracks spread across the moon's surface. The cave collapsed behind them. The human ship lifted off just as the ground split open. From space, the crew watched the moon slowly break apart. "If we were 10 seconds later," the pilot muttered. In the med bay, the Dragonling lay on a soft surface under warm lights. Machines beeped quietly. The crew kept their distance. Mara stayed by his side. The Dragonling opened his eyes. He saw her again, not leaving, not turning away. He lifted one small claw and placed it weakly against her sleeve. Mara smiled through tears. "It's okay," she whispered. "I've got you." Suddenly, the ship's long-range sensors activated. Multiple signals appeared. Large ones. Very large. "Captain," the tactical officer said slowly, "Dragon ships just dropped out of hyperspace." The screen filled with massive silhouettes. An entire dragon fleet. "They're heading straight for us," he added. Mara looked down at the Dragonling in her arms, and she understood. They were not coming to save him. They were coming to take him back. The secret the dragons tried to bury. The dragon fleet surrounded the human ship like dark shadows around a dying star. Huge wings of metal and living fire blocked every escape path. Their ships were old, ancient, shaped like beasts instead of machines. Power rolled off them in silent waves. Inside the human ship, alarms screamed. "Shields at 60%, the tactical officer said. Weapons locked, but useless, another whispered. If they attack, we don't last a minute. Captain Mara stood still. In her arms, the Dragonling stirred. His eyes opened slowly. The blue lines on his scales glowed brighter than before. Not wild, not angry. Awake. The dragon fleet sent a signal. A voice filled the bridge. Deep, cold, ancient. Human vessel, the voice said. Return what belongs to us. Mara stepped closer to the screen. You abandoned him, she replied. You left him to die. Silence followed. Then the dragon elder spoke again. He was unfit, the voice said. A mistake. His existence threatens balance. The Dragonling lifted his head. Something inside him reacted to those words. His heart beat faster. Images flooded his mind. Fire, stars, screaming skies, dragons bowing, worlds burning, and something older than dragons watching from the dark. He cried out. The lights flickered. The crew stumbled as the ship shook. Captain, the science officer gasped. The Dragonling is causing this, but he's not aware of it. Mara held him tighter. Easy, she whispered. You're safe. The Dragonling pressed closer to her. His claws dug into her uniform. Not an attack, but fear. The Dragon Elder's ship moved forward. You do not understand, the Elder said. That child carries the star flame. The bridge went silent. The what? One officer asked. The star flame is not dragon fire, the Elder continued. It is the first fire, the fire that created us. Long ago, only one bloodline carried it. Mara's voice was steady. And you killed that bloodline. Yes, the Elder admitted. Because it could not be controlled. The Dragonling screamed. Not loud, but powerful. The air bent. The stars outside the window seemed to dim. A blue-white flame burst around the Dragonling. Not burning, not destroying, holding everything in place. Time slowed. Dragon ships froze. Human systems stopped responding. Only Mara could move. She looked down. The Dragonling was floating now, eyes glowing like small stars. His wings spread wide, stronger than before. He looked afraid. I don't want to hurt anyone, his voice echoed. Not through sound, but through thought. Every being heard him. Human, dragon, machine. I was alone, his mind said. I waited. No one came. The Dragon Elder felt something he had not felt in centuries. Shame. You were supposed to sleep forever, the Elder said weakly. The Dragonling turned toward the fleet. You left me, he said. She stayed. The star flame reacted. Energy surged outward, not as an attack, but as truth. The Dragon fleet's weapons shut down. Their shields fell. They were helpless. Captain, the tactical officer whispered. He just disabled an entire armada, without trying. Mara stepped forward and placed a hand on the Dragonling's chest. You don't have to choose fear, she said. Choose who you want to be. The Dragonling looked at her, then at the stars, then at the dragons who abandoned him. The star flame faded slowly. Systems came back online. The Dragon fleet pulled back. The Elder spoke one last time, voice heavy. He is no longer ours, the Elder said. He never was. The signal cut. The dragon ships vanished into hyperspace. Silence filled the bridge. The Dragonling collapsed into Mara's arms, exhausted. She held him as the crew stared in disbelief. What is he? Someone asked quietly. Mara looked down at the small creature who trusted her with his life. He's a child, she said, and he's choosing his own future, but far beyond the stars. Something ancient stirred. The star flame had awakened, and the galaxy had noticed. A mother from the stars. The human ship moved quietly through deep space. No alarms, no voices, only soft engine sounds and the steady breathing of a small Dragonling curled inside the medical bay. Mara sat beside him. She had not slept. The Dragonling, now named Ashy, rested under warm lights. His wings twitched sometimes as if he dreamed of flying. The blue lines on his scales glowed softly like distant stars. Every scan said the same thing. His body was changing. Cell growth is accelerating, the science officer said carefully. But it's stable, almost guided. Mara did not look away from Ashy. He's growing because he feels safe, she said. The officer said nothing. Ashy opened his eyes. The moment he saw Mara, his breathing slowed. He lifted his head and made a small sound, not a roar. Something closer to a call. Mara smiled. "I'm here," she said. Ashy crawled closer. His claws caught on the blanket. He struggled, then stopped. His eyes filled with fear, like he expected to be pushed away again. Mara reached out and helped him. She did not hesitate. The Dragonling pressed against her chest. His wings wrapped around her arm. The room felt warmer. On the bridge, the tactical officer stiffened. "Captain," he said. Energy levels just rose again. "No alarms," the science officer added. "It's not a threat." Mara closed her eyes. Ashy was responding to her emotions. That night, something strange happened. The ship passed through a silent star field when the lights dimmed on their own. The air felt heavy. Screens flickered. Then a voice echoed through the ship. Not loud, not hostile, ancient. "Star Flame Bearer," the voice said. "You cannot hide." The crew froze. Mara stood slowly, Ashy still in her arms. "Identify yourself," she said. "I'm a watcher," the voice replied. "Older than dragons. Older than humans." A shape appeared on the main screen. Light without form, burning but not blinding. "You are not meant to awaken yet," the watcher said. "The child's power will bring war." Ashy whimpered. The lights flared blue. Mara stepped forward. "He's not a weapon," she said. "He's a child." The watcher paused. "No one has ever spoken to the star flame like that," it said. Ashy looked at the glowing form. Fear trembled through him. Mara knelt and held his face gently. "You're safe," she whispered. "No one decides your life but you." The star flame reacted. Not with force, with choice. Ashy lifted his head. His eyes burned brighter than ever. But his voice was calm. "I choose her," he said inside every mind. The watcher faded. "For now," it whispered, "but others will come." The ship's lights returned to normal. Silence followed. Days passed. Mara stayed with Ashy constantly. She fed him. She spoke to him. She told him stories of Earth, of blue oceans and green skies. Ashy listened. He learned her voice meant safety. Her touch meant home. But far away, hidden beyond human space, eyes were watching. Not dragons. Something worse. A dark fleet moved silently, drawn by the star flame's awakening. On the bridge, sensors lit up again. Unknown ships detected. The tactical officer said slowly, "Not dragon. Not human." Mara felt Ashy tense in her arms. His blue lines flared sharply. "They're coming for me," his voice echoed in her mind. Mara looked out at the stars. Then she said the words that changed everything. "Then they'll have to go through me." The ship turned toward the unknown, and the galaxy held its breath. When the galaxy learned what a human would protect, the unknown fleet arrived without warning. No signals, no demands, no mercy. Black ships slid out of space like shadows, tearing open the stars. Their shapes were wrong, sharp, twisted, alive in ways metal should not be. Every sensor on the human ship screamed danger. "They're not using known engines," the science officer said. "This technology doesn't match anything in our database." "They didn't come to talk," the tactical officer added. "Weapons are charging." Captain Mara did not sit down. She stood between the command chair and the screen. Ashy held close against her chest. Ashy's body trembled. The blue lines on his scales burned brighter, crawling across his wings and tail like living light. His breathing grew fast. "They want me," his voice echoed in her mind. "They always want the fire." Mara felt anger rise in her chest. "No," she said quietly. "They want what they think you are." The enemy fleet moved closer. A signal forced its way into the ship. A cold, empty voice filled the bridge. "Starflame detected," it said. "Transfer the asset." "Asset?" Mara's jaw tightened. "This is Captain Mara Hale of the Human Exploration Corps," she replied. "You are in human space. Power down and leave." The voice paused. Then it laughed. "Humans do not own stars," it said. "You will surrender the child." Ashy cried out. The ship shook as a warning shot struck their shields. "Shields at 40%, the tactical officer shouted. Mara turned to the crew. "Full power to shields," she ordered. "Signal nearby human fleets." "Emergency code." "Captain," the officer hesitated, Even if they arrive, these ships. I know, Mara said. But we don't run. The enemy fleet advanced. Ashy lifted his head. I can stop them, he said in every mind. But I'm scared. Mara knelt and placed her forehead against his. You don't have to fight alone, she whispered. And you don't have to become what they fear. The blue light around Ashy changed. It stopped burning wild. It became steady, controlled. The first enemy ship fired. Before the shot reached them, space itself bent. The beam slowed, then stopped, frozen like a picture. Every enemy weapon followed. Frozen. Silence fell. The enemy voice returned, this time uncertain. What did you do? Ashy did not answer. Instead, Mara stepped forward. This is what happens, she said, her voice calm but sharp, when you threaten a human child. Ashy raised one small claw, not in anger, in warning. The star flame spread outward, not destroying, not burning, but revealing. The enemy's ships flickered. Their cloaks failed. Their hidden weapons shut down. They were exposed. They're vulnerable, the tactical officer whispered. All of them. The enemy voice turned desperate. Stop, it demanded. The star flame is not yours to control. Ashy's voice echoed softly. I control myself. A human fleet dropped out of space behind them. Then another. Then more. Dozens of human ships formed a wall of steel and light. Human commanders opened a shared channel. Captain Hale, one voice said, you are not alone. The enemy fleet hesitated. For the first time, they pulled back. We will return, the cold voice said. The star flame always does. The ships vanished into the dark. The bridge went quiet. Ashy collapsed into Mara's arms, exhausted but alive. She held him tightly. No one spoke, because everyone understood now. The galaxy had crossed a line, and humans had drawn one back. Far away, beyond known space, ancient forces stirred, not to claim the star flame, but to erase it, and the war had just begun. The choice that shook the stars. The human fleet stayed in formation. Weapons charged, shields high. No one moved. The stars around them felt tense, like space itself was waiting. Inside Mara's ship, Ashy lay weak but awake. His breathing was slow. The blue lines on his scales faded to a soft glow. He had stopped an enemy fleet, but the cost was heavy. He's burning through energy too fast, the science officer said quietly. The star flame is still waking up inside him. Mara sat beside Ashy. You did well, she whispered. Ashy looked up at her. I don't want to hurt anyone, his voice echoed in her mind. But everyone keeps coming. Before Mara could answer, the long-range sensors screamed again. Multiple jump signatures. Large. Very large. The human fleet shifted. Captain, the tactical officer said slowly. Dragon fleets entering the system. Screens filled with massive shapes. Dragons. Hundreds of them. Their ships were alive, breathing fire and light. A transmission opened. The dragon elder appeared. Older than before, eyes heavy with regret. Human, the elder said. We come not to fight. The bridge went silent. Mara stepped forward. Then say why you're here. The elder looked past her at Ashy. We were wrong, the elder said. The child was never broken. He was never dangerous. We feared what we could not control. Ashy's wings twitched. You left me. His voice echoed through every ship. I waited. The elder lowered his head. Yes, he said, and we pay for that mistake now. A second signal forced its way into the system. Cold, heavy, terrifying. The unknown enemy fleet returned, larger than before. But they did not stop at the edge of the system. They jumped directly into the center, between humans and dragons. Starflame confirmed. The enemy voice boomed. Eradication protocol active. Weapons charged on all sides. One wrong move, and everything would burn. The dragon elder spoke urgently. That enemy hunts creators, he said. They erase bloodlines like his. Mara felt Ashy shake. They will kill everyone, Ashy whispered. To reach me, Mara knelt in front of him and took his face in her hands. Look at me, she said. You are not alone anymore. Ashy looked around. Humans holding the line. Dragons forming shields. Enemies preparing to destroy everything. I can end this, Ashy said softly. But I will lose myself. Mara's voice broke. Then don't, she said. Be more than fire. The battle began. Enemy weapons tore through space. Dragon fire met dark energy. Human ships stood between them. Shields fell. Ships burned. Ashy screamed. The star flame exploded outward. Not wild. Not cruel. Focused. Time slowed again. Ashy rose into open space, glowing like a small star. Every being felt his presence. I choose, his voice echoed, to protect, not destroy. The star flame changed. It wrapped around human ships, strengthened dragon shields, turned enemy weapons against themselves. The enemy fleet collapsed under its own power. But Ashy screamed again. The power was too much. His body cracked with light. Ashy, Mara cried. He looked back one last time. I'm sorry, he whispered. Then he vanished in a burst of starfire. Silence fell across the battlefield. The enemy fleet was gone. The stars were quiet. Mara stared into the empty space where he had been. Tears fell freely. He's gone, someone whispered. But far beyond the system, a small light drifted through the dark. Still burning, still alive, and changing. The legend the stars remember. The stars were quiet. Too quiet. After the battle, broken ships drifted in silence. Fire faded. Energy waves calmed. The war that was meant to destroy everything ended in a single moment. And Ashy was gone. Human and dragon fleets remained, frozen in place, as if moving would make the truth worse. On Mara's ship, no one spoke. Mara stood at the observation window, staring into the dark space where Ashy had disappeared. Her hands trembled. She pressed them against the glass, as if she could still feel his warmth. He promised, she whispered. He promised he wouldn't leave. The dragon elder floated on the screen behind her. The star flame never dies, the elder said softly, but it never returns the same. Days passed. The fleets separated. Humans repaired their ships. Dragons withdrew to their ancient worlds. Stories spread fast across the galaxy. A human captain who stood against gods. A dragon child who chose protection over power. A light that erased an armada. But Mara did not listen to the stories. She waited. Every day, sensors scanned the stars. Every night, she dreamed of blue light and small wings wrapped around her arm. One cycle later, something changed. A signal appeared. Weak. Familiar. The bridge came alive. Captain, the science officer shouted. We're detecting star flame energy, but it's stable. Mara's heart stopped. Where? She asked. The screen zoomed in. A small star glowed near a newborn system. Not violent. Not burning. Waiting. Mara's ship jumped without hesitation. As they approached, the light grew brighter. Space bent gently around it like it was breathing. Then the light moved. It shaped itself. Wings formed first, vast and glowing. A body followed, made of soft starfire. Not flesh, not flame. Something new. A voice echoed through the ship. Mom. Mara fell to her knees. The being drifted closer. Its eyes shone with memory, not power. I was afraid I was lost, the voice said. But you were there. That kept me whole. The crew watched in silence as the star being folded its wings and shrank. Light faded. A familiar shape remained. Ashy stood on the deck. Bigger now. Stronger. His scales shimmered like the night sky. The blue lines were calm, steady, alive. Mara rushed forward and held him. He held her back. Not tightly. Carefully. I chose to come back, Ashy said softly. Because love brought me here. The dragon elder's voice entered the channel. You are no longer dragon, the elder said. Nor weapon. Ashy looked at the stars. I'm a guardian, he said. Because someone showed me how. Years later, worlds slept safely under his watch. Humans and dragons shared the skies. And when children looked up at the stars and asked who protected them, the answer was always the same. A dragon raised by a human. A mother from the stars. A choice that changed the galaxy. And the stars remembered. Always.